Hi everybody, it's me, Matt, and I am here presenting a quick tutorial, a rough tutorial on how to contribute to our blog as an author and not just responding in comments, but actually creating your own content. So the first step here is to open up our URL, everyarteverychild.blogspot.com. Hopefully you've been to our blog and you've seen this. We are going through a transition, changing our name to Spaces for Possibility, an arts-based learning community for reflective teacher practice. And here's the latest post, posted by Valerie Zanos. And so what this tutorial is doing is giving you the knowledge on how to be one of those people that can say posted by. First things first, you should have received an email from Every Art Every Child that invited you to be an author. And you'll need to hit this accept invitation button. If you need help with that, please let me know. So once you've been accepted to author, when you come to our blog URL, you'll want to go to the upper right hand corner and click sign in. And I will be contributing as an author from our Every Art Every Child account. I enter my secret password. And you'll come to a page that actually looks more like this, not necessarily our blog. And what you'll want to focus on here is the create new post icon, this orange box in the middle. You click on that and you'll open up the page, the template for creating your own blog post. So first thing we're going to want to do is add a title. And our title here is What Brings You to This Learning Community? This is one of the questions from the questionnaire that we handed out at the end of our last workshop with Olivia. And what I've done is I have already gone ahead and transcribed your responses into a Word document. I like doing this for blog posts quite a bit. I find it a little bit easier. So I just create the content in Word, go to File, Copy, I minimize the Word document, and I come into the blog, and I do a Command V, or File Paste, and all my content comes right in to the text box here. So what I want to do is clean this up, make it look a little better, and I'm going to add some bullet points. You can play around with all the different icons up top, adding numbers or bullets or changing the font size. There's a whole selection of toolbars up there. Any good blog post, in my opinion, has visuals to go along with it as well. And so I think one critical aspect that we want to review here is how to insert an image. And this icon up here, Insert Image, allows you to pick an image from a variety of areas. Now I've already uploaded images from the evening with Olivia to my computer, so I'll go to Choose Files, and my photographs are saved in the Photos folder. In fact, give me a second here, my computer's a little slow, but my photos have been saved to my iPhoto. So I open up my iPhoto, and in the iPhotos, the way I have things organized are by events. And so once that opens, I'll find that event folder, the last one here. I'll open that up, and I'll have my selection of images to choose from. I'm looking for an image of teachers collaborating, because that was actually something that a lot of you mentioned and what you hope to get from this learning community. So it's a perfect image to go along with the text in this blog post. So I select that image and then hit Add Selected. And it goes right into where I left the cursor. So you can put the image in the middle of the text, wherever you want. Simply put the cursor and then go up to that Insert Image icon, and that's where the image will fall into. And then once the image is in there, if you select it, there's a variety of other options you can do. You can change the size, you can change the location. Now, typically I tend to go with large images. It seems to work well with the template that we have. And I think that this blog post could use one more image. I want to show something about working with Olivia and the content maybe that we came up with. Because once again, it matches what you guys responded to, saying that Olivia Goody was something that actually brought you to this learning community. So I'm going to choose an image I have here of the themes that we generated that evening. I select the image and I hit add selected, and that image falls into where I had left the cursor. And again, I'm going to make that a large image. So you can see now we have two images inserted into this blog post. Actually not very difficult. And what else do we want? So maybe I'll add a little bit of original text here as well, and I can play around with my font and my text size. But to simply create your own text, you put the cursor in the template box there and you type in what you want to write. So here are the responses from our questionnaire. Here are the responses from our questionnaire we handed out at our first workshop. So sometimes creating the original content or text can be really simple and basic. These two sentences are just combined with some authentic writing from participants, from your students. You could transcribe some reflections and then insert some photographs of documentation of your practice, of your classroom practice. So that's essentially it for creating content for a blog post. And then I'll encourage you to simply come in here and play around with the other options that are available. It also dawns on me that since we have Olivia Goody as a key component of this workshop, it would be a good idea to maybe link to some of her resources. And linking is an option that I really like to utilize in blog posting. So what I want to first do is find another web page that I want to link to. In this case, it's the Spiral Workshop website. I'm going to select the URL. First, actually, I'll go back into my content and I'll identify the text that I want to link. So I highlight that. I highlight Olivia. Go to this link box. It's going to ask for the web address that you want to link to. So if I wanted to link to Google, I'd write www.google.com. What I want to link to is Spiral Workshop. It's got this really long address, so I'm going to just copy the whole thing. I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to paste it in. And I click OK. And now we have Olivia's name linked to the Spiral Workshop website. And I'm sure there's other things in here I could probably link to, but I'm not going to do that right now. We often link to other websites, the national standards, or to some Hetland's websites, or the Museum of Contemporary Art, whatever the content dictates. And the final thing that is really nice to do for creating a blog post is adding some labels. And what this helps us do is later on we can search through all of our blog posts based on labels. So if I wanted to see all the blog posts about curriculum development or about generative themes, I'd be able to search in that regard. And so that's it. That is how we create a blog post. I have my title, my content, we inserted images, we created a web link, and my final step here is to go through and read it for edits. I noticed I forgot the word here, from the questionnaire we handed out. And before we publish, we're going to want to click this button here, Preview. And then we get a sense of what this is really going to look like once the blog post goes live. And you can see it looks just how we put it. It looks great. I'm happy with that. So I'll go back to the page that we were creating in, up here, and I'll hit publish. And that's it. We now have a new blog post, and we can view the blog, make sure it worked, go back to Spaces for Possibilities blog, and you see that our blog post is the first one there. Well, I hope that this helped. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'll walk you through any issues. Remember that this is a great space for us to share ideas with each other, and the more contributors, the better. And finally, if you're unhappy with one of your posts, we can always redo it. Good luck!